Today, the third day of Navratri, we will be making lemon rice as the Prsadam. There is a reason behind this. In the Lalita Sahasranamam, one of the namas is Haridra Naikarasika. That means Devi, who is fond of rice with turmeric in it. That is why we will be offering lemon rice as bhog today. First, I have cooked 1 cup of raw rice in my pressure cooker. It is done now. I have just spread it out in a bowl and add a tablespoon of oil to this and just fluff it up a little so that the grains remain separate. Allow it to cool. Add a tablespoon of oil in a pan. Then add some mustard seeds, a tablespoon of groundnuts, 2 teaspoons Urad dal, 2 teaspoons of Channa dal, and let all the dals and the groundnut get well roasted. The mustard seeds have also splattered. Add a few fresh curry leaves to it. Stir fry it over a low flame. You don't want the dals to get burnt. Next, I am adding a little bit of Hing powder to this, a large pinch. Here I have 2 chopped green chillies and a small piece of ginger, also finely chopped. Add that too. And finally add some turmeric powder. Again mix everything well. Now we can switch off the flame. The rice has cooled down. We have not yet added salt, so add the required quantity of salt. Here I have the juice of 2 lemons which I have squeezed and kept ready. Add that too. Now add this rice. And mix everything very well together. See, our perfectly done lemon rice where the rice grains are absolutely fluffy, not sticking together at all. Finally, if you like, you can add some fresh coriander leaves also on top. Now let's take it out for our Naivedyam. Namaste. This year Navratri is being celebrated from 3rd to 12th October. Towards the end of the rainy season and there is a change in weather, India comes alive all over in all the states with the beautiful celebration of Navratri. In Tamil Nadu we also celebrate it with the Golu festival, that is the arrangement of different dolls which shows her creativity also in different fields, and the Dandiya and Garba dance in Gujarat. Every place is totally alive, celebrating the feminine energy or Shakti. Now the 3rd day of Navratri, Ma Durga is worshipped as Ma Chandra Ghanta. Chandra means moon and Ghanta means temple bell. So she has on her forehead a crescent moon in the shape of a bell. That is why she is called as Ma Chandra Ghanta. Now in the earlier episodes we have seen that Ma Sati immolated herself in the sacrificial fire. Then she was reborn as Parvati to Himavan and Mena. Now Himavan and Mena had prayed to Ma Adi Shakti, and then she was born to them as their daughter, and she grew up with the name of Parvati. And we also saw that Parvati took up intense tapas or penance to obtain Shiva as her husband. Why did she have to do this tapas? See, Shiva, once Sati had immolated herself, Shiva was very much distressed. He had lost all interest in worldly life and gone deep into the mountains to a life of solitude, meditation, isolation, and austerity. And we remember that Narada, sage Narada, advises Parvati to do this tapas. So when Shiva notices Parvati's resolve and her intense tapas, he finally agrees to get married to her because he knows fully well that she is none other than Sati, his wife in the previous birth. So now Shiva and Parvati's marriage has been decided. So then Shiva comes along with a procession to the bride's place. And what a procession that was. It was the strangest of marriage processions because Shiva, the bridegroom, comes in such a terrorizing form. He has got ash smeared all over his body and his face and neck too. He has got snakes around his arms. His matted hair is again coiled and decorated with snakes. And who are the people present in the marriage procession are all his ganas and aghoris. And it was not at all looking like a beautiful marriage procession at all. Upon seeing such a strange marriage procession, many of our relatives are in a state of shock and some of the women even faint to the ground. Then Ma Chandraghanta, to save her family also, she changes herself into this terrorizing form with 10 arms. In 9 of her arms she carries various weapons, bow, arrow, sword, mace and so on. And she comes riding a lion indicating fearlessness. And in that form, she appeases Shiva and asks him to change into a more benevolent form. And then Shiva accedes and then he transforms himself into the most handsome prince one could ever imagine. Such a handsome bridegroom. One could imagine what a beautiful bridegroom he was. And then Ma Parvati also transforms herself into a beautiful maiden. Both of them are bedecked with beautiful attire and adorned with the appropriate jewelry. And then the marriage of Shiva and Parvati is solemnized. And this is also celebrated as Mahashivratri every year, where we celebrate the union of Shiva and Parvati. So what does this form of Devi as Chandraghanta show us? That she can take up a very terrible form, riding a lion and with 10 arms and different weapons, and be malevolent towards her enemies. At the same time, she can take a very serene form, very compassionate with motherly love towards her devotees too. So in the context of our everyday lives as women, we have so many different tasks to do, multitasking. We have to play the role of a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter-in-law. And if you go to office, you have to manage something over there too. So many different activities we have to manage at each time, maybe changing over roles and doing something which is appropriate for that particular function. So we all pray to her so that we are blessed with her compassion and her benevolence, and she gives us that serenity to take up different tasks which we have to in our everyday lives and go about everything with a pleasant smile. It is said that devotees who pray to Ma Chandraghanta are blessed with such a demeanor that even they have great serenity around them, and even people who meet them feel they are truly blessed. So thank you for watching the video. We'll meet again with the next episode of Navratri. Perivasharanam.